Hi, I'm Ryan.
Hey, I'm Alvin, and we're at HEB Center here at Cedar Park, Texas. Right, so what are we about to get into?
Yeah, so we're here to do an autocross. We're going to see how it translates to tracking as part of a path to get from nothing out to full track status. So we're going to see, today how rusty I am and see how you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Be pretty exciting. So
I'm super excited. All right, so we just got done with tech inspection. We thought we'd chat a little bit about what we're expecting to get out of today, what we expect is going to happen, and try to see how different between our backgrounds we're going to approach this event. And then at the end of the day, we'll have to true up and see, what holds true. Alvin, what do you think you're going to get out of today, and what do you think is going to happen?
Well, personally, I like to say right now, looking at the cones, they look scattered everywhere. So my main thing is to really learn the actual autocross course and just figure out how to enhance, because I'm a novice in autocross, so it's going to be impactful, not a learning experience for me, for sure.
Yep, that's all this is. Today we're learning. We're not trying to get best time, not trying to make sure. I probably put us in the wrong class, and that's okay. We're going to use this as a learning event, and if this seems to be a big positive step for us to, because you're going to learn a lot about weight transfer today. You're going to learn a lot about how to rotate the car in tight situations between power, steering wheel, and brake. Because it looks like there's some pretty sharp turns, and there's some times where you can actually get up in a decent amount of speed that you can actually leverage things like trail braking. So, for me, I haven't done autocrossing for about 10 years or so. I grew up with it with my parents, and so I have a good idea of what's going to happen, but I've never driven a GT4. I've pretty much driven rental cars at Autocross. So, yes, learning the track, learning the cones, the direction you need to go into, that's really key, obviously, to figure out how you're going to do it. The first sessions are not going to be fast. Expect it. And then for me, it's about kind of getting back into the rhythm of really short course, rotating the car, trying to get, fast in, fast out as much as possible, and see how much fun it can have today.
Yeah, so sounds fun. Can't wait.
So I just finished my first session, about 5 runs. I DQ'd the first 2. The first one I completely went off the course. The second one, I missed a cone. So it's, the expectation is, I was so worried about the car, I forgot how fast it is with learning a new track with this layouts, and you only have cones to guide you. So definitely, a learning experience for me. Run 3, 4, 5 were better. So now I just got to focus on getting my times down and see where we're at the end of the day. So in this tight of a course, it's all about smooth inputs. There is this fine line between giving inputs fast enough to get out of the corner and get speed up, but not so fast that you're kicking the rear around. And now for me, I'm running stability control, so it's going to want to cut power. So it's this fine line of applying brake and gas, so that way you're not upsetting the car too much about car balance, weight transfer, all that. So all of it comes into play at a much slower speed, and it magnifies if you come out of a corner very slowly, because you're gonna lose that time all the way until the next corner. So Alvin's heard all my stories. He's kind of seen me in the first half of the section, so hopefully I kind of gave him some pointers on how to approach this. He's gonna, I think, get some instructions for the first couple runs to make sure he learns the course, you know, and he just starts slow and just builds his way up. So we'll see how that goes.
I just did my first couple sessions. Very technical. The hard part is just getting used to the course and the turns. So I'm still trying to grasp that. But overall, it's a fun experience. So I'm hoping to do better the second half, that's for sure. Because I'm still missing the course, missing some turns throughout the course. But that's the hardest part for me, for sure. You know, I'm used to tracking, you know, I just follow the track, you know, hit the apexes, you know, but here there's so many cones. If you look too far ahead, I don't know, to me I get confused, so I have to stay within the 2 cones ahead, or maybe possibly 3, but that's been my biggest challenge, is really learning the cones, because sometimes they say left and then right, and then there's some big gap, and then when you look to the right or whatever, it's, you know, you're like, oh crap, and then another one comes. So I mean, that's been very difficult, but just learning the cones is much harder than freaking learning the track, that's for sure. We're getting ready to do a couple more sessions, and we'll get right back at you later.
Well, we wrapped up after 10 sessions today each, and had a great day. Alvin, how'd you do?
Oh, had a tremendous day. Started, it was very difficult at first, man. It was, you know, but as the day went on, I gradually start, you know, taking it.
Things started to click?
Yeah, things starting to click. Cones starting to click.
Yeah, this is a big challenge. Is you have to you show up to the track, you have no idea what it looks like. You get an overlay, which we got the wrong one, and you have to figure out the track while figuring out the car. You know, you just have a lot. For me, I had a brain overload the first run I had, and you have to get used to the track. And then once you start feeling good about the track, you're like, okay, now how can I start chipping away at the time? How can I, you know? And you're like, you only have half the track in your mind, right? And so it's just some memorization, some reaction. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just had a blast. I mean, I haven't done this in, roughly 10 years. So coming back, a lot of things started to come back to me as far as how to approach it. I think if we were to do an autocross here soon, again, it would click a lot sooner for me. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned before, I'm used to driving on the track, so autocross is pretty new to me. But I did bring over some of the skills from the track. One of the ones is really just feeling the car, like on the track, like getting ready to turn and hit apexes and stuff. Just feeling the car, and also just looking ahead. Don't just look right in front of you. That's very important in autocross, clearly. So those were some of the main things that really helped me with autocross, just learning how to feel the car as I learned the course.
For me, I had Tim and TJ's voices in my head. For Tim, a big thing is you find speed in slow corners, and you find time. It's all slow corners. And so as I got a time I wasn't happy with it, I'm like, okay, well, what are the slow corners? Well, most of them. Okay, how can I keep up my minimum speed? Then you have TJ, which is all about get on gas as soon as you can. I mean, Tim says it too, of course, but it's like, you have both of them kind of yelling at me in my head to keep me from, hitting the brakes and just trying to keep on the gas. Even if it's just a quarter pedal going around a 180, just keep a little bit of the gas going, maintain your momentum. And then, when I started this morning, it was all about stabbing the throttle, stabbing the brake, trying to be very abrupt with my inputs. Car did not like that at all. As I started to kind of less, abrupt inputs, the car was a lot more manageable. I could, definitely toss the car a little bit more in the corners. It was a lot more compliant going around either a 180 or a 90-degree turn. And so definitely there's some finesse to learn. At the end of the day, now I haven't driven this GT4 before, and so I know what a GT4 feels like from the previous generation, so it wasn't a huge surprise. But I mean, I have a much, much greater idea of what this car likes and doesn't like in these very technical, tight situations, that then when you go to track, like, you go to COTA with maybe turn 15, or, you go to Crescent, or, some other tracks that have been very slow speed corners, then you have to say, okay, I have no more aero, you can maybe troll brake here or there, but that you need to maximize that mechanical grip and really, rotate that car around. And you have everything at, you have brakes, gas, steering wheel, everything, at your disposal to get that rotation. And so today for me, I learned a ton about the car's abilities, the car's dynamic grip, and how to try to maximize. I mean, I would need another day probably on this course to get even better. But I feel I did pretty good today, so I'll take it and we'll go to the next one.
Just to emphasize on what he was talking about, really the finesse.
Yeah.
Like, man, that was key. Like, for me, I really had to I just had a hard time learning the course, and then the cones just threw me off, but then once I was understanding the course more, the stabbing really worked against me, and I had to really try to keep it calm and smooth. And I mean, that's very important.
Yeah,
that I've learned this auto course.
So
Autocross.
You come back? You do it again?
Absolutely.
As a kind of a, I mean, I know you've done a little bit before, but this is like a real deal.
Yeah, that's a real deal. Autocross. The one I did was not quite like that. So
yeah, they give a taste of it, but this is, I mean, it is complex and hard, but I mean,
I loved it. Yeah.
So yeah, we both had a lot of fun, learned a lot. We need to get more people out here. So, the question is, what's the bar to entry for autocross versus a track day? For autocross, I think it's very, very low. You don't need a fast car. You don't need a high horsepower car. You could just be every road car. We saw SUVs out here. We saw family cars. We saw electric four-door vehicles out here, and they're all having a great time. We use, I think, between us, an eighth of a tank of gas all day. I bet the brakes are about the same as when we left the shop. The tires, I doubt we scrubbed much on them at all. So again, it's a very low cost and can be low skill level to come in. It's fine if you come out there and you just go, 5/10 out there. It's okay. Now on a track day, I think it's a little higher, so more expensive. So, for example, this was a roughly $50 entry fee. COTA for weekends over $1,000, not including, your car, consumables and things like that, and fuel. So, I think autocrossing is a great way to kind of get up to understanding the car's dynamic abilities. And, so as you go into the track, you maybe use your time better to learn about, okay, I know that the small, slow, technical stuff. Now let's put it on the track with longer sweeping corners. And there's a whole other game of confidence when you go between autocross and a track. On an autocross, it's very low risk. I mean, were you worried about the curbs at all, the trees or anything?
Oh,
no, I really didn't focus on it at any point in time. I never felt like I was in any danger at all. Track day, you're looking at the outside curbing, you're looking at that wall. I mean, you're coming down the front or back straight at over 100 miles an hour. You're like, man, I hope I have brakes, because if I don't, it's gonna get ugly quick. So, I think going from autocross to like an HPDE, it's about the confidence. So you have to build your confidence at that point. I think this is a wonderful way to start your career in racing, or heck, if you just bought your car, you really don't know much about it, bring it out here for a day for $50. You'll learn your car way, way better than years of it driving on the street. So,
yeah, agree. Absolutely. All right. Hey, would you guys be interested in autocross? If so, hey, let us know. If you have any questions, also let us know below.
Yeah, visit our social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.
Boom.
Okay.